On June 17, 2026, Donald Trump signed a peace deal with Iran at the Palace of Versailles. He called it historic. He promised the war was over. Today is July 20th, 2026. That is 33 days later. And tonight, U.S. CENTCOM is carrying out a new round of airstrikes on Iranian territory. Explosions have been reported in Bandar Abbas and Sirik. Trump posted on social media that every time Iran kills an American soldier, they will pay for that killing many times over. Hold on to that sentence, because a peace deal that requires this sentence on day 33 was never really a peace deal. In the past few days, Iran killed 3 American soldiers. One was killed in northern Iraq during the controlled detonation of a downed Iranian drone. 2 more were killed in Jordan in a separate Iranian strike. 1 soldier remains missing. The American death toll in this conflict has now reached 17. And today, the United States responded with a new round of strikes on Iran. But here is the sentence that mainstream media is not putting next to those strikes. Both Secretary of State Rubio and a senior Iranian official said today that they remain open to diplomacy. Bombs falling on Iran. Diplomats saying talks continue. Both things happening on the same day. That is not a contradiction. That is the pattern I want to show you today. Every outlet today is asking the same question. Has the peace deal collapsed? That is the wrong question. The right question is this: was the peace deal ever actually alive? Because what we are watching right now is not a collapse. It is a revelation. The deal did not die today. It was never breathing. And I want to show you exactly why, using 3 specific facts that nobody is connecting right now. I am going to call this the Undead Deal. Here is the core idea. A deal is undead when both sides officially maintain it exists while simultaneously acting as if it does not. The paperwork is real. The signatures are real. But the behavior of both sides tells you everything the document will not. On paper, the June 17th memorandum is still active. In reality, America is bombing Iran, and Iran is killing American soldiers. The Undead Deal is not a failed negotiation. It is a performance that both sides need for different reasons. And today, day 33, is the clearest evidence yet that the performance has been running longer than anyone wants to admit. Source 1. Bloomberg's reporting today. Bloomberg stated directly that both Iran and the U.S. have largely abandoned the tentative peace deal that Trump had touted. Not walking away slowly, not renegotiating, largely abandoned. That is the language of a deal that exists only on paper. And yet the White House press secretary confirmed today that Special Envoy Steve Witkoff remains in communication with Iranian officials. So the administration is simultaneously abandoning the deal and maintaining diplomatic contact. That is the definition of the Undead Deal: officially alive, functionally dead. Source 2. The American death toll and the escalation pattern. The U.S. death toll has now reached 17. 3 soldiers killed in the past few days alone. 1 in Iraq, 2 in Jordan, 1 still missing. Every one of these deaths followed the same pattern. Iran strikes, Trump threatens. America responds with airstrikes. Iran strikes again, and mediators propose a new ceasefire. This cycle has now repeated itself multiple times since the June 17th signing. Think about what that means. The peace deal did not stop a single round of this cycle, not one. It did not change the behavior of either side in any measurable way. A deal that changes nothing is not a deal. It is a document. Source 3. The mediator dynamic. Today, even as American bombs fall on Bandar Abbas and Sirik, mediators are proposing a new truce. Qatar and Pakistan, the same countries that brokered the original MOU, are back at the table with a new proposal. Now ask yourself a very simple question. If the June 17th deal was real, why do we need a new truce proposal on day 33? You do not propose a new ceasefire inside an existing ceasefire unless the existing ceasefire has already ended. The mediators know the Undead Deal is dead. They are just not saying it out loud. Now I want to be completely fair, because the argument for keeping the deal alive is real, and I will not dismiss it. The argument goes like this. War is messy. Ceasefires break down and get rebuilt. The fact that both sides are still talking through mediators proves the diplomatic channel is not closed. 3 soldiers dying in a conflict of this scale is tragic, but does not automatically mean a peace framework has failed. Rubio is still engaged. Iran's foreign ministry is still engaged. That is what an imperfect but functioning diplomatic process looks like. That argument has genuine merit. I understand it. But here is what it cannot explain. If the deal is functioning, why did Bloomberg report today that both sides have largely abandoned it? You cannot have a functioning deal that both sides have largely abandoned. Those 2 sentences cancel each other out. There is a term in diplomacy for exactly this situation. It is called a zombie ceasefire. The Korean War armistice was signed in 1953. Technically, the Korean War never ended. For 70 years, both sides maintained the armistice on paper while conducting military operations, proxy conflicts, and nuclear threats that violated its spirit completely. The document existed. The peace did not. The Undead Deal is following the same path. Both sides need the document to exist. America needs it to tell voters the war is winding down. Iran needs it to maintain economic relief and diplomatic cover. Neither side can afford to formally declare it dead, so they keep it on paper while fighting on the ground. That is not diplomacy. That is management. So let us put this together. A peace deal signed June 17th that both sides have now largely abandoned, according to Bloomberg. 3 American soldiers killed in the past few days, bringing the total death toll to 17. New American airstrikes on Bandar Abbas and Sirik today, day 33. Mediators already proposing a replacement truce because the original one is functionally dead. And both Rubio and Iran simultaneously saying they remain open to diplomacy while bombs are falling. Every single one of these facts points in the same direction. The Undead Deal is not a peace process in trouble. It is a label both sides are keeping on a war that never stopped. The question is not when the deal dies. The question is how long both sides can pretend it is alive. 2 specific things to watch in the coming days. First, watch whether the technical working groups that were supposed to begin June 30th are still meeting. If those expert-level talks have quietly stopped, the Undead Deal has no remaining institutional infrastructure. It is a signature with nothing underneath it. Second, watch the mediators. Qatar and Pakistan are now proposing a new truce. If that proposal includes a formal acknowledgement that the June 17th MOU has expired or failed, that is the moment the Undead Deal is officially buried. Watch the language they use. If they call it a new agreement, rather than a continuation of the existing one, you have your answer. Your homework. Find Bloomberg's reporting from today, July 20th, on the U.S.-Iran conflict. Read the exact sentence about both sides abandoning the deal. Then find the White House statement confirming Steve Witkoff is still in communication with Iranian officials. Put those 2 sentences next to each other and ask yourself how both of them can be true at the same time. The gap between those 2 sentences is where the Undead Deal lives. So here is the question I want to leave you with. On June 17th, Trump signed a deal and called the war over. Today, 33 days later, American bombs are falling on Iran, and 3 more soldiers are dead. If this is what a peace deal looks like on day 33, what does it look like on day 60? I will see you in the next one.